Because one, you have to figure out what is your narrative? Like, what are you taking into the week? Is your mission that this is senior week and you need to pay tribute to seniors?
Mm-hmm.
Is it get to win? Is it the rivalry game, short week, Thanksgiving, etc.? Right, because it's short week.
Some of it, yeah.
Right, like it checks all the boxes. So, are you being thankful, grateful? Are you pushing that the most important thing is beating Iowa? Is this your bowl game? Is this your bowl game? Is this the most important game of the season? You can play this as a playoff game.
Mm-hmm. Well, Matt Rhule, I mean, that's what he says to the Nebraska. He kind of looked at it. He's like, every game from this point on, we got to look at it like we're playing for the college playoffs.
Well, whatever way you went through efforts 1, 2, and 3 and failed, change it. Change it. You didn't get it right. There's several things that will be curious to me. And again, there is some advantage, albeit small. There's some advantages that Nebraska will roll through. And we generally, we have the 24-hour rule, so we can look at the game and then we put it down and then get eyes forward. But I'd imagine that they've already put it down. They put it down on the ride home. And then once they got back and you get in treatment, so, Sunday mornings, the day after is evaluating injury and evaluating selves, right? Every player, every coach, every group evaluating themselves, grading themselves. Then you got to go through, and Harrison, this is where you have to ask yourself as a player, did I do enough? Did I do enough? And I don't necessarily mean in the game. Did I do enough last week? Did I rest enough? Did I follow my recovery enough? Did I spend enough time in the playbook? Did I get enough rest? Like there are things that the accumulation of all these things show up on Saturday. Saturday is just an accumulation of the week before.
Well, that's why this one's a curious one too, because Wisconsin, obvious bruiser of a game. And I'll tell you what, they took that game, but it just felt personal getting Wisconsin that many times in a row. It was coming. And again, they didn't quite run it like they have in the past, but they run it very selectively and they did it well. And it was kind of Wisconsin-esque. But that was an absolute bruiser of a game to get beat up on. And that's why this short week to me, really interesting. You got Iowa. It's going to be a lot of the same thing. That's two extremely physical games back to back. And it's Iowa team who, they didn't look great against Illinois, but Iowa, every team they play, they're going to within, a one-score game, just the fact that that's Iowa's offense this year. They're going to slowly kind of grind you down. But yeah, we got plenty from the text line here as well that I definitely want to get to. 402-464-5685. I'd imagine people are going to be thinking about this game for at least a couple more days here. But we got one right here from downtown. Scott says, DP, what's up? Your thoughts? People questioning the decision. Last week, a field goal would have left it in Maryland's hands. They could win it or tie it. This week, a field goal left one outcome, a guaranteed offensive possession in overtime. Any question whether the right decision was made both times?
Yeah, this is where season one of getting to know coaches, because we don't know them. We don't know them. Like, we don't know Matt Rhule. We don't know. We don't know Marcus Satterfield.
Yeah, we're learning.
We don't know Tony White. We don't know. Like, we don't know the players. Did anybody know what to expect from Chubba Purdy last night? Anyone? Not even Chubba. Not even Chubba. Like, that's the discussion you have to have. You get caught up in moments, but the moments just show all the things that you've done in high repetition to that point to get there. Preparation. Like, there's no luck. Preparation meets opportunity. That's the definition. And so when you get into place, look, they see these players every day. Like, I try not to get into, hey, here's what you do here. They know these players. Like, recent history says certain situations I don't want to put Chubba in. Now, that was that version of Chuba a week ago,
Mm-hmm.
and that version was different than yesterday's Chuba, right? And somewhere along all this thing is the version of Chuba that they see every day at practice.
I'll tell you what, his legs, that's the one thing you can count on. The
Every day.
wheels.
Well, but here's the thing. We weren't talking about Chuba's legs all season long. We were talking about Jeff Sims' legs and then Heinrich Harburg's legs. We talked all the stuff. Like, listen, stop it. Like, we go through. This is what frustrates me about access, because access allows the fans to know what they're seeing, right? Familiarity with. I'm never going to have the knowledge that the coaches have because they know what they see every day. We only get our perception from what they call on Saturday, like who you put out there. Oh, you put Van Poppel out there. You must see some stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you must see some stuff. Like you're calling trap plays with tight ends. Okay, that's what you see. Apparently, it works in practice. You're calling you know your kicker. You see, like we didn't see him before the game. We don't know what his leg was looking like. We saw the miss kick early. So then it's okay. At some point, you have to build this freshman up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Make decisions. You decide what you want to do. You know your team. There have been teams where in that situation, I would have gone for 7. But if you're looking at playmakers on Nebraska's offense, the most likely talent on the field to score a touchdown was Chuba Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, because Billy Kemp was also out at that point too. That was one of our weapons.
Kemp's beat up. Fidoni's you're not getting the rhythm with Malachi. You're not getting it with Bullock. You're just not. So who's most likely to get open against a Wisconsin defense in the red zone with short space to work? Like, we're not talking about open field, 50 yards. You're talking about 20 yards, 18 yards. What receivers are physical enough to get open, take the Wisconsin manhandle at the skill position and get success? Could you call a play where you could just drop back and have Chuba feel comfortable that, hey, he wasn't going to get his head knocked off? Or do you call a route combination that pulls everybody out of the box and then gives Chuba a one-on-one chance to beat some defender at a second level? They know. There was nobody, literally, for every Husker fan, was there any matchup with a receiver where Nebraska felt like, of the 4 receivers on the field, they were definitely at an advantage and going to get a win so that we could make a throw? Because a week ago, we saw them not get open.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks in a row now.
And not win. So, listen.
They're young, though.
Lloyd's
probably one of those guys that you hope to see continue to develop that way. But as of now, like, play in, play out.
Those are freshmen. Those are
brand
new.
That's what I'm saying.
Those are first year. Those are first
developing.
All of those guys were first year receivers. Exactly. Let me explain it to you. Fidoni, this is his first year playing.
Yes.
Bullock, first year playing.
Mm-hmm.
Malachi, first year playing. Like, go up and down the line. Lloyd,
yeah.
They're all first year guys out there. And this is the Big Ten Conference.
Yeah. So
guess what? There's some dudes playing defensive back that not having it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Chuba is technically, if you count the numbers, what is this, game number 6 for him? Number 7?
Yeah, no, I think it's only 6.
Right? So first year guy.
Yeah.
First year guy. Emmett Johnson, first year guy. The only guy out there that had any experience of note in those situations is Grant.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unless you're going to flare him out of the backfield and hope that he's going to be better than the 2 Wisconsin defenders who are waiting for him, I don't know what else you do. My greater concern than the last moments of halves are some of those things that happen in between that you're not copying success. Like, I as a coach, my job is to identify success and then copy it. Like, what works? What works? And if we said before the game that Chuba was going to put up the numbers that he put up, everybody in Lincoln would be satisfied. Oh, he's going to go 15 to 20. Oh, okay.
Everyone would have smiled at 0 turnovers.
All right. Like we like up
0.
until the final throw of the game, he had 0 turnovers.
Yeah, the last one, I
don't really count.
We don't
really want to count that because, quite frankly,
you had to make a play.
Yeah, you got to make a throw. Now, some of the play calls leave some of those things, but again, they know their people better than we do. Or at least I hope so. At least I hope so. So, listen. Were they competitive? Yes. Did they battle? Yes. Did they give up? No. But did they get the job done? No. And this is why you have to go game by game, because you have to beat Minnesota when you have the opportunity to beat Minnesota. This is the same program. It hasn't, the team hasn't changed the program yet. We've been talking about this.
I'm aware.
Like, we've been talking about
laugh
this. Look, I said, listen, the team are the individuals that are playing currently, and they are a byproduct and beholden to the program. The program is the systematic things that are in place currently, whether it's mentality, belief system, mission, task, purpose, all that stuff. That's the program. The team are just the individual dudes who are doing it. And again, if we said in August, hey, Chubba Purdy's your quarterback, you're going to end up with Malachi, Bullock, Lloyd, and company out there at wide receiver, we'd all went, oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's not forget.
Not to mention the linemen, not to mention the running backs.
and but here's the other thing, Harrison. If we also said in August, hey, Nebraska's going to travel to Madison, and at the end of the fourth quarter, they have held Wisconsin to 17 points. 17 points. We all throw confetti in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Hooray! Good job. Good job. Hey, that's after holding Maryland to 13 points. Oh, man.
Just what could have been after holding
we are rolling.
Minnesota to 13.
Are rolling.
But I will say, for this first year, if you're starting before the season started, you'd be like, hey, you're going to have a crazy year with injuries. You're going to have so many players hurt, but at the end of the season, you guys are still somehow going to be at 5-5 with a chance to take Iowa to go bowling at home.
It was right there. Like, you held Northwestern, a bowl eligible team, to 9 points.
Dominated them.
You held Illinois to 7. Wait a minute. You held Purdue to 14. Hooray! You held Michigan State to 20. Like, you should be winning. Yeah. Except you can't score points. You can't score points. And
what's more surprising to you? Sorry to cut you off. What's more surprising? The offense struggling the way they have, even though, like, obviously their injuries, or the defense taking off as fast as they have? I know yesterday wasn't their best showing, but I mean, they still only gave up 17. You would have liked them to get some more crucial stops, but I still think defense has been a pretty solid unit. What has been more surprising to you? The offense not being able to find its groove, or the defense being the leader as much as they've had to been this year?
I'm consistent. I am consistent. Listen, I said this at the spring game. I said it at summer camp.
Mm-hmm.
I said it before the season started. Tony White gives me hope. I am consistent in that, and watching people who move with confidence and arrogance in a positive way, right? That there's no secret. Tony White doesn't have secrets. Tony White will tell you what he thinks. He'll tell you what his philosophy is. He communicates it crisply, cleanly. There's very little coach speak when Tony White talks about his defense, right? I would love to say that I know more about Tony White than I know about Marcus Satterfield, because Tony White he says more.
Yeah. You cut up his press conferences. There's no riddles. That's what I like about him. No riddles.
He hitting you dead square in the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And you've gone through 3 quarterbacks, and not for the good reasons. Like, you're going through 3 quarterbacks, and okay, here's the question. If they're all healthy, 100% healthy, do we know who the best quarterback would be if they're all healthy?
I'm almost like ready to start laughing.
Right,
It's
like, no,
it's
no.
like absolutely ridiculous.
Like we
Situation we're constantly thrown in every year.
do we know who, with all three quarterbacks returning, who quarterback one is next year? We don't know.
Yeah.
Do we know who running back 1A is next year? We have no idea.
That was the weird thing was yesterday, right? I was like, okay, Emmett Johnson, this seems like a 20-plus carry game from him. Here comes Grant. Oh, he's got the confidence back. I'm like, okay, maybe it's because Wisconsin, big team. You want to rely on the size of Grant, but it's just that was a curveball for me. Why do you think they put Grant in there? If you just had to take a guess at it, just size, strength.
Maybe
just
he's
played
seeing
it before.
Maybe he's seeing it. Maybe
Yeah.
he's seeing something different. Maybe he's. Yeah. I again.
Johnson came alive at the end there, and it was great. It's just interesting.
They know their guys,
Yeah.
and you got 13 carries for Emmett for 50 yards, 12 for Anthony
Yeah, so
Grant for 48
by committee.
So okay,
I'm saying it was bad. I was just curious,
best
trying to
runner
figure it out.
on the field, Chopper Purdy. Is that what we were going with? Like, is that what we do? Like once again, in the system, and not even via play call. We're not talking about running the option and being running back number one at quarterback. We're talking about pass plays, pass drops, and then taking off and running with the ball. There's a difference. And we talk about fool's gold, that sometimes the thing that happens in a small result leads you to do things that don't really help you in the long run. Like they aren't exactly what you wanted to do. But both teams last night were like, drop the quarterback back like he's going to throw a pass, have him take off and run.
Mhm.
Probably the best offensive play either team had last night, even with Braylon Allen running. I mean, look, you held him to 22 carries and 63 yards.
I was impressed by
That.
the
Listen,
stopping. The one where they lit him, Sanford lit him up on the line, gave up his soul for that one.
oh,
it looked
Sanford is reliving that right now.
yeah. But man,
right now he's reliving that. Right, that he still remembers. He still feels that hit.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of things done well. Right, a lot of things done well.
I mean, yeah, you still had a chance to win the game at the end. Over and over, you've had a chance. You just got to get to figure out that part of the ball.
We had this conversation last year on this very Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Headed into Iowa going, oh boy, like this team vexes us all. Like, I don't know that we know more. Like, we know that Nash Hutmaker can play.
Mm-hmm.
We know that Ty Robinson has had a great season and he's figured some things out.
Lenhart's been great on.
We know that Lenhart and Princewell and Sackman Williams, like we okay, so like because we didn't know about the upfront guys, so okay, and we didn't know what we were going to get at these other positions, but Javen and Sanford and Gifford have played above their stand, and they still have some things to work on. But my goodness gracious, like if we said Braylon Allen's going to carry 22 times, how many yards do you want him held to have to win the game? We don't even dream 70.
Yeah.
Like we said, look, if you hold him to 90, we got a shot. Right? Tanner Mordecai is going to be their best runner
on really simple, just QB draw plays over and over.
You can't draw it up.
No.
Like you can't even scheme. And they had one functional receiver.
Yep. And he came. Okay. Just use your coaching brain.
Yeah.
Tony White, great. But why do you think they're not just putting two guys on him? Because he was the only guy they were looking at on every third down play, staring him down.
Trust, because you have to believe that your system and your rules will work in play, right? That if this happens, if he runs this route in this combo, that your defensive scheme will put people in the right place. Except there are humans involved, and humans, until they know what they're doing, they're curious about what they're doing. And sometimes you start to peek. Like it's, oh, this looks like I'm in the right place.
Mhm.
I wonder what's happening over there. Oh no, he came behind me. He came behind me. Doggone it. Oh man. I was right here. I was right here. And
It
then
definitely felt like that. 'Cause some of them, it's like it literally looked like, you know, and they're better athletes than I'll ever be. But it is funny. It's like you can see them reading the slant, and they're still like, damn, they still got me on it.
It's do you when Bill
Ugh.
Belichick says do your job, it's
That's
we preach this defensively. Don't go looking for business. Business is coming.
mm-hmm.
Like if I'm out the front door walking down the street looking for business to bring into the mill, I'm not where I'm supposed to be, which is standing at the door greeting the people who actually come to the door. Don't go looking for business. Business is coming. You have to, like, you get curious, huh? I wonder what the bar down the street's doing. And 6 people walk into your place and there's nobody there. Like that's the maturity that has to happen. Again, this is a new scheme for Nebraska.
Yep.
This is year 1. They have adapted to Big Ten play and the play calling and the responsibilities better than the offense has. We can't say it any other. It's just simple. The same can be said for special teams. You have to get better.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get, and there's a new phrase that I came up with it talking to some folks in DC. Big Ten business is different than football business. Big Ten business, you have to be Big Ten ready and Big Ten successful. There are things that you can do in the Big Ten season that you can't do in bowl games. You can't do when you go outside of conference. But there are things that you can run in the Big Ten. 22 times, 63 yards, and then have a quarterback bust you up for 6 and 7 at a pop.
Mm-hmm.
That makes that other thing okay. Nebraska defensively, Big Ten ready, Big Ten successful. Their numbers say that. They're going to face an Iowa offense that we don't know the personality of this offense. We don't know what offense they're bringing. We know that they're going to hold it close to the vest because they don't want to make mistakes against Tony White's defense. Okay. The Vegas odds makers say they're going to score 27 points. There's going to be 27 points scored at Memorial Stadium, and the spread is 1.5. So they're telling you, whoever gets so they're expecting a 14-13 thriller.
I'll just expect.
Right.
It's really 27?
27.
Okay.
27.5.
I thought it might even be
27.5. So 14-13 is what they're expecting.
I'm still taking the under.
Well, but they're feeding Nebraska fans that we're going to give you 1.5. And if Iowa beats you by the 1 point that we absolutely think they're going to beat you by, you could have success. And the Iowa fans are like, oh, we're going to beat them by more than, it's not going to be 14-13. We're going to get 17. So they're going to bet. And then here they all come. Everybody's at the gate. And they got you. They got you. They're letting you know this is how this thing's going to play out. Listen, we're at a – this is such – like, I'm tired of saying what a big week this is for Nebraska football.
You haven't known. We say that in Lincoln every football season.
Every game is just – we don't know. And here's the thing. A part of me is like, I want to go to a bowl game. But are you willing to commit emotionally to it?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready to commit to it.
Okay.
It's Iowa. Like, you're getting them at home. The Big Ten's dissolving with the West. We got to do it.
This is your bowl game.
Yeah.
This is your trophy game.
Do it for me.
This is it.
Do it for Lincoln, and everyone else has been down here because 2016. Yeah. So everyone who's gotten to Lincoln since 2016 and after, we just haven't. And the players too. You know, I will go to break here. I was talking to DeMornay Pearsonell about just like the meaning of bowl games and what it does for those players and the extra time you get. And there's a lot behind it that you don't always get to experience. But we got to go ahead, throw out the break here. You guys have been great. Always feel free to join the show. 402-464-5685. Talk to you on the other side.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action. Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador online at prg-ne.com.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
If you can plan barbecues and weddings, you can plan to protect yourself from a natural disaster. Sign up for local alerts, prepare an emergency kit, and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Whether you're booking a trip to Lincoln for a football game or a volleyball weekend, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus is the place for you. The Scarlet Hotel is special on many levels, from the delicious Well and Good restaurant on the main floor to the coolest rooftop patio bar in Lincoln, the Barred Owl, on the top floor of the hotel with great views of the city and one of the coolest drink menus. Book your stay or book a staycation today at scarlethotelnebraska.com.
Whether it's playing on a sports team or creating art, it's important to encourage your kids to explore their interests. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Let your child know you believe in their passions. It can contribute to your child's focus and improve the quality of their schoolwork, too. So show that budding scientist some encouragement by helping them with an experiment or play catch with your baseball enthusiast.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People's City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, we all do a little, we change a lot.
Whether it's playing on a sports team or creating art, it's important to encourage your kids to explore their interests. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Let your child know you believe in their passions. It can contribute to your child's focus and improve the quality of their schoolwork, too. So show that budding scientist some encouragement by helping them with an experiment or play catch with your baseball enthusiast.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, Hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to One on One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weekends on this Sunday, this rainy Sunday. It is about 11:30 here. After this one, we'll have plenty of more Ticket Weekends ahead. We still got the breeze.
Oh,
up
it's
next.
raining.
Yeah,
Raining.
It's crazy. I will say for November 19th, I'll take it. You know, at this point, it could be snow even at this late in the year, but it's been beautiful
You're not
out.
supposed to say it. It's like a no-hitter. You're not supposed to say snow.
Oh, I've been saying snow all the time.
So we're going to get it this week because you said it.
Mother Nature don't care. She's going to do what she wants.
Friday, they're saying Friday.
Are they?
Yeah, thanks, Harrison. It's
I'll
all your
take
fault.
it. It's November 19th. I'll be ready to take it. I'm not going to be ungrateful at this point.
It's all your fault.
Oh, but 402
Let's read some of these texts.
Yeah,
I want to get
some of these are pretty good here.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got Nyla Boo saying, as far as the season, or as far as I see it, the season is over. I hope I have to eat a crow, but I don't think I will be. On that one, I'll try. Well, we got one more game left at home. I definitely hope you don't have to eat a crow, but nonetheless, seeing Coleman last night, it looked like he was jogging out of his routes. Like, what's the point? I don't know if I saw much jogging going on with him. BP, did you notice anything?
So I'm a bit of like, okay. So for Team USA, I was brought in to coach receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And so then that means you work with the top coordinators, you work with the top quarterbacks coach. Fortunately for me, the top quarterbacks coach was a teammate of mine. So we spoke the same verbiage, we got on the same page. What I know is that I would go into a town. So imagine I would go to Chicago and I would get receivers from all over the country who play for different teams who have never been coached by me. And I have to give them the same verbiage and the same skill set in an hour so that we could then compete against each other and then pick who's the best of the bunch to move on to the national level. So you learn to identify skill sets. Like there's certain guys that are speed guys, route guys, hands guys. There are physical guys. There are finesse guys. And I have to learn that in a hurry to identify who it is. And then I have to remember that I can't ask them to be. I can't ask, let's see, Calvin Johnson. I cannot ask Calvin Johnson to be Wes Welker. I also cannot ask Danny Amendola to be Terrell Owens. It seems like they run the same routes. No, different things are required. There are hands guys. There are the Chris Carters of the world who, if you just put the ball in a radius, they will make that play.
Mm-hmm.
There are those that Randy Moss who vertically changed the receiver position, not only in running routes, but then extending throws higher than ever before. What I don't understand with Nebraska is what is being taught. What are they better at now other than knowing that on this play you run this route? I don't see off the line engagement. That I don't see that development. I don't. Sorry. Don't. I'm not splicing anybody, but you asked the question, so I'm going to tell you. Release game is an attitude. How dare you walk up and try to put your hands on me as a defensive back? As a receiver, I'm going to butcher your arms. Shame on you. Do not disrespect me by putting your hands on me.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're willing to come into me, then I'm going to say to you, Harrison, if you walk up into this 3-yard space that belongs to me, because this belongs to me. I'm letting you know this belongs to me. 3 yards around me, no matter what we're doing, belong to me. Don't belong to you. Don't come in my yard, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute.
Get my arms ripped off.
Wait, come on. Like, no. And that's taught and trained and high repetition, being able to get in a route. Rule one is to sell every route as a vert. I need for every route the fear of goodness that Malachi Coleman is going to take that burner speed and end up in the end zone, because if he takes his stride and goes, most defensive backs can't run with him. So the biggest fear for any defensive back is that you're going to run by me. So use that to sell everything that happens short of that. And I don't understand. It doesn't seem like they're big target. And again, I could be wrong. Maybe they just, I'm just not seeing it. There's so much in this that with these receivers, one, you're asking them to block. Okay. But guess what? If you sell that blocking, receivers blocking is sexy, then it's sexy. Oh, you mean I finally get to get even with these little dudes who've been putting their hands on me? What's the best way to do that? There's two ways. One, take them to the house. Two, knock their head off. Knock their head off. Listen, you think you a track dude out here. Let me hit somebody.
No, I'll give Coleman credit on that department.
He's
down with hitting somebody. He's had a few great blocks on the year.
But here's the thing. There's the residual effect of being physical, which means I'm leaning on this dude. If Harrison, if I sprint to you, straight to you, and put my helmet on you and put my hands on, and I run over you, what are you going to do the next play?
I'm going back. I'm looking for you back.
Right?
Yeah. And if I don't get you then you better be wearing a helmet when I come into work tomorrow.
Hey, and if you stay there a second time, what am I going to do?
You going to take me to the house or run through me?
Either or. Either or. And the fatigue of a cornerback being reactive for 60 offensive plays. And if 20 of them, I put body on him, when I need to break free of him, it becomes easier.
That was the glory of the Tom Osborne days.
It becomes easier. It's like, oh, you're not hitting me right now. Oh, thank you very much.
Because they took that with pride. If you just check any of those Osborne games, those wide receivers, all game, just giving them absolute hell. And then the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 play actions, all of a sudden it's the most wide open throw, and you just got to knock them down. And it just because those wide receivers, not only did they get beat on the route, they're just in pain. Like it gets to a point, but that third, fourth quarter, those guys are hurting at another level.
And if I'm not hitting you, you just capped up. You're just like, oh, okay.
And if you're good out there, that is some open field hitting.
Oh,
you can really light your guys up.
If I never hit you, you won. You won. If I never hit you. So I don't know what they're being taught. Again, exposure and access. I only know what I see on film, right? And like Sunday is a rewatch day for me with new eyes, right? What am I'm looking for unnatural movement. Things that if you're running this play, and again, everybody runs the same plays. Everybody runs the same plays. So if I see an unnatural movement, if I see a lineman in the backfield, 3 yards, I got some coaching to do. If I see a rover miss a sack because he didn't settle, I got coaching to do. If I see a high throw, that's mechanics. I know right away that a high throw is mechanics. And I know that I haven't asked the quarterback to make a throw that he hasn't made before. So I need to coach. If we misread a blitz, that's coaching. Hey, what did you see? What did you think you saw? Then I have to add to it. Oh, they blitzed off the corner. What did you see? Well, my responsibility is to get into the route. Listen, rules of engagement are you never allow a defender to run across your face without making them pay the toll. Because if you pay the toll, if I get hands on a corner that's blitzing and then I just simply turn around the flat, I've done two things. One, I protected my quarterback and gave him time to actually get me the ball in open space, in a space that's one defender negative, because I put him out. Like, there's so many small things that just, I wonder what is the thinking?
And that wasn't one of a few times. They brought that corner blitz out multiple times throughout that game.
If I'm a running back and I'm going to the flat, but I see a corner blur by me. Remember the 20 tackles where that dude got to take a shot at me and I don't get to get him? Hey, little cornerback, come on in here. Like, out there belongs to you. In here belongs to me. You're going to run by my face. I'm not. Harrison, if your girlfriend's standing behind you and you see some dude running by you to get to her, you're not just going to walk and go, I trust my girlfriend to see this dude coming and to no.
Yeah, it gets personal. No! It's going to get personal real quick. And that was like the whole, I think that's why watching the game yesterday, the whole forecourt, it all just felt so personal. It just made me want all the more. It's like, yep. Okay. We got to get out of here. We got to go to break. Going slightly over, but that's all right. Me and DP talking Husker football here. We'll talk to you guys on the other side.
I could write a commercial telling you how great waffle weekends are at the chocolate season. Or I could just have Rico read you the menu.
Banana Nutella. Nutella topped Belgian waffle with homemade whipped cream, chocolate chips, and freshly sliced bananas. Baconator. Buttermilk waffle with bacon slices tucked inside, topped with salted whipped butter, caramelized pecans, and pure maple syrup.
Waffle weekend brunches at the chocolate season.
PB&J.
40th and Old Cheney or online at thechocolateseason.com.
If you're like most guys with symptoms, you don't want to ask for help. Perhaps a free consult with the men's health experts will encourage you. What could it hurt? Limitless knows exactly how to treat your symptoms. They will verify with a blood test, and in a very short time, you'll feel like a new man. So don't drag your feet. You're not going to feel better unless you get help. The providers at Limitless know what they're doing. To receive your custom treatment plan, schedule online at limitlessmail.com and get your life back.
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
5.4 million American kids vape, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
There's no better way to spark a child's imagination than to get lost in the adventure of a good book. I'm Jenny Benson, president of NSEA. Working together, parents and teachers can help every child succeed. You can help by reading to your child and let your child read to you. Encourage reading in your home and make it a priority. Make reading fun and a time that you and your child look forward to spending together.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
You're listening to One on One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That is such a jam.
Word to the mother.
That is a jam. Man, listen, if y'all want, like, if you ever want me in a good mood.
This is the one right here.
Oh.
All right, let me send that to producers
Yeah,
chat
yeah.
real quick.
Look, if this and Pumps in a Bump, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you got Bumps on a Bump on Old School, don't you?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, man.
That was not bad. Yeah, it's a
Come
good good Sunday morning kind of
Come
tune for you. For everyone
on,
out there.
man.
Go
Come
ahead
on.
and set up the breeze up next, though. But nonetheless, we do got about 4 minutes left here on this last segment here. We want to get to a few more texts here because you guys have been fired up all morning.
Yep.
We got one from unknown texter. We got 8704. He says, I noticed Matt Rule talks play fearless, yet he coached scared. And he's been outcoached repeatedly. And he's been pretty aggressive on just basically not happy overall with Matt Rule's performance so far. Saying he can go
that's
to
not a
A&M
fan.
for all
That's
I
not a Matt Rule fan right there.
Yeah.
Like he went all in. Playing fearless is one. I mean, it is a thing. I'm full in not playing with fear because it means that as a player, I know what I'm doing. I know what I see. Then I just have to do it. And I'm being asked to do a thing that I've done in high repetition and practice. That's it. Like that's fearless players are that I know I'm not afraid of what could happen. I'm not afraid of what I see, right? Because I know what I see. Oh, they're bringing blitz here. Okay, I got a plan for this. Like the difference of being coached plays versus how to play. How to play is having an answer for whatever comes up in situation and circumstance. Do what you've always done in that situation. Nothing to fear. Fear happens. Penalties happen when chaos shows up. Oh my God, this dude's running by me. I need to grab him. No, that's not what we practice. That's not what we taught. That's not what we do.
Well, even, I'll say this. You got to give, I'm not going to say it, but Wisconsin yesterday, they're down 14-0. What'd they do? They practice.
What they always do.
They practice. They came down there and they said, there's plenty of time left. We're going to bully you through the offensive line. And yeah, we're able to stop Allen a little bit, but they had a few drives that were just very selective. And the QB draw was the only twist in there that was different. It was amazing how effective that was.
You get, this is, again, it's where my head starts to hurt. If you're talking football, baseball, basketball, hockey, volleyball, whatever, who is your best player? Once you identify who your best player is, then what is your best play to get your best player the ball the most often for the most production? And Nebraska answers with whoever is playing quarterback is our best player, and our best play is whenever we don't actually call a play for them, but they become the best player simply because they have the ball.
That's some really scary insight because there's not a damn thing you said there that hasn't been true.
Am I
Our leading
wrong?
rusher has been.
Am I wrong?
Playing no.
Wisconsin got down 2 touchdowns. No. You know what they said? Our best players are Braylon Allen, and because we need to give our best player the ball more often. He touched the ball 22 times. Did he have his most productive day in yardage? No. But what he did was he leaned on some dudes, he punished some dudes, and then he was so much a factor at 3 yards a pop that he allowed Mordecai to fake it to him and just run untouched for 8 yards.
Mm-hmm. When they're in those tough spots, that third down.
Several times.
Yep. Do you know?
Several times.
That is, I will say this thing, and this wasn't just to Wisconsin. That is one thing I hope that's just been tough for him. The third and longs. They've gotten up a lot of third and longs this year. And that's one where I couldn't really break that down as to why that was. You'd have to go through a lot of tape and figure out why is it third and long. And it does feel like a QB scramble just about every time. Playmakers on defense
make plays. That means when it's 50-50, playmakers give you a greater advantage when it's 50-50. That's what people miss about playmakers. Playmakers, everybody runs the same plays. Playmakers are in that elite category of guys that, given an opportunity, they will make more yardage on that play or make that play when other players won't. That's it. And defensively, that's tackling an open field. How many times do you see a defender with his one shot in the game to make an impactful play and you whiff?
One that would have hurt really bad.
A bunch, right? A bunch. Playmakers, and now you don't make all the plays, right? You don't make every catch. You don't make every throw. You don't make every good decision. But the teams that have playmakers who make the majority of the plays win football games. Look, I'll ask you, what offensive player made plays, right? It's a short list.
You're looking at Purdy and
you got to throw, right? You make a throw, you got to run. You got you know, Billy Kemp trying to make plays in space, all of that. Nebraska still hasn't. Okay, Harrison, here you go. Text line, here you go. Who's Nebraska's best offensive player?
I want to say something else to you right now. We'll put everyone on the clock.
What's
here.
Nebraska's best play?
Okay, we're gonna go best player. Oh man, you're looking at Emma Johnson or Grant. Like seriously, I'm being dead serious.
Know.
Maybe okay if we're going skill play. I'm talking skill players only. Best play is probably a QB run.
We are headed
maybe
into Black Friday, playing for a bowl and to extend the season, and we don't know who the best offensive player is.
All right, it's a good thing I'm not coaching. That's a lot of work to get done
there we go.
This week. So you know what? We'll see though. Hope for another week football where Nebraska can hopefully turn it around here. But we got plenty of good things up ahead. Nonetheless, and we got the Breeze, followed by that we'll have the Nico Project and plenty more. Ticket weekends all the way up until 11 p.m. Don't go anywhere.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit